Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and we're going to talk about the D&D OGL 1.1 leak Firestorm, and specifically today we're going to talk about the questions from the myriad of OGL 1.0 and OSR and indie champions that are like, when is Hasbro going to respond to our demands and our frou-for-all? When is Hasbro going to respond about this D&D OGL 1.1 leak? When are they going to respond to the Firestorm? Right? And there's a lot of Nerd Immersion. He's got a poll up over on Twitter going, when will they respond? And the poll really literally is like, today, tomorrow, next week, and then King Waspinator's over there, and he's like, I think Hasbro took too long to respond to this OGL 1.1 leak, right? And here's my humble opinion: they responded. You didn't hear the response, right? So basically, all these OGL 1.0 creators are like, hey, what about my future making derivative works and insulting you at the same time, Hasbro? Isn't everybody really concerned to make sure that me as a copy culture creator can continue to copy Dungeons & Dragons and throw shade at Dungeons & Dragons at the same time? That I can say, hey, everybody, I make my money on the D20 system that Dungeons & Dragons created, but I also want to insult every product they bring down the line and really throw a lot of shade and ignore them all the time and say that they make pablum. I want to make money on them and I want to insult them at the same time. Can everybody help me keep that job? And literally players are like, what are you talking about over here? And it's pretty astounding. But there was a response. In my humble opinion, here was the response, right? So the OGL 1.0 champions are like, hey, remember me? I make derivative works and I need to be able to make money on Dungeons & Dragons and insult Dungeons & Dragons. Let's all hold up the banner for that, right? That I can keep doing that, right? And that doesn't go away. That's their cry, right? And so you're like, oh, okay. And then what was Hasbro's response to the fury, to the Firestorm? Here was their response. It was an exclusive deadline article that said, hey, Paramount Plus, they're a major streaming competitor, and they just signed a deal to put another Dungeons & Dragons television show on the small screen. And so you guys are all going to get an awesome new show that you can watch and be excited about. And while these guys squawk that they want you to look at their GarageBand, black and white, ridiculous derivative works, we're innovating in world mixing, right? We're mixing D&D worlds with Lego worlds and Funko Pop worlds and Magic the Gathering worlds. We're innovating how products are packaged. We're innovating how people of color are included in our design process. We're innovating on the big screen. We got a gigantic, blockbuster coming out, and we're not forgetting. And while we're mastering the silver screen and the big screen, we'll give you some small screen content too. And what this statement was, hey everybody, those OGL 1.0 whiners, they're playing Connect 4, and the game is 3D chess. They're like, we understand we're an American capitalist company, and we understand that we're gonna make awesome, and we're gonna make it work, and we're gonna make it happen, and we're gonna shut the OGL 1.0 whiners' mouths with sheer awesomeness, sheer momentum, and what you really want. Dungeons & Dragons in every aspect of your life. Dungeons & Dragons on the big screen, Dungeons & Dragons on the small screen, Dungeons & Dragons at your table, whether it's physical or digital. And while we do all this incredible innovation and all this incredible work, we won't let a single beat drop, right? We will be dropping 256-page D&D canon hardbacks that will crack the roof off of YouTube every time they drop, and people will be talking about their errata more than they talk about those OSR 1.0 whiners copy culture creations. Nobody cares, right? So, in my humble opinion, Hasbro did answer the OGL 1.1 Firestorm. They're like, hey, we're moving the world over here. I don't know what you whiners are talking about. What are you offering anybody? Another one of your sad sack garage band black and white art, poor writing, poor layout nonsense junk, and you're begging people to save your job while you do copy culture. Nobody cares. And that's the issue, right? Like, and so that's where we are. So Hasbro totally responded, in my humble opinion. There's your response, right? They are playing 3D chess, while the OGL 1.0 whiners, they're playing Connect 4. Like like they don't even. And this is where Dungeons and Dragons has always been. Its competitors don't even know the arena the fight is happening at. They're not even showing up at the arena. They're like, hey, I twiddled this part on the rules of my Dungeons and Dragons retro clone. Do I win the world now? No, you don't. Right? Like, and until you get real scale and real bean counters and real like synergy, like, you know, like that corporate word that you hate, right? If you can't understand the arena where the fight's happening, you can't win the fight, right? Like that's the whole of it, right? So the response already came. Y'all's missed it. That's my humble opinion. I would love to hear your humble opinion when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.